It's such a simple but, like, complex movie that really, does still hold up, and it's quite beautiful. I would love to go to Tokyo and have, an affair with an older man.
So welcome back to Core Memory, a podcast about movies. I'm your host, Cortney Warner, and joining me this week, I'm super stoked. She's a comedian, she's a writer, she's a musician, she's a podcaster, she's a filmmaker. She does everything. Please welcome to the stage my friend and yours, Marie Cecile Anderson.
Yay! Oh, Courtney, thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Well, thank you for being here, Marie. How are you? What's going on?
You know what? I've been traveling the world, and I
Yeah.
returned yesterday, and my jet lag is a little jet lagging, which always feels like such a stupid privileged thing to be like, "My jet lag, I have jet lag," but I do, I'm dying right now. No, just kidding. It's like 3 in the morning where I was. I went to, Croatia,
Ooh.
so I was hanging with some friends, and yeah, so I'm doing great, but I'm definitely am a little tired, but I'm happy to be here still. To
Um,
talk about movies, I will wake me up. I will talk.
Yes. And especially I think your jet lag will definitely, tie into your second movie tonight too. I think that's very
Yes.
helpful. That's very
Yes.
timely and kind of,
Which
like, poetic.
I watched it on the plane too on the way back, and I was like,
Ah,
"Oh, man, this is very timely." And
yes,
now I wanna go to Japan again.
right?
So,
Oh my
yeah.
god. Well, audience, Marie's the 2 movies that she brought tonight are her first movie she ever remembers seeing is Return of the Jedi, Star Wars, and her favorite as an adult, we alluded to it, is Lost in Translation. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh, so good, and just again, it's just timely with everything going on, with your traveling and everything. So I'm curious, so you were just visiting friends, or what were you doing out there?
Yeah, well, I have made a vow to myself to travel internationally once a year, and I started doing that because I was a late bloomer, like, I didn't
Mhm,
go to Europe until I was 35,
mhm.
and once I caught the travel bug, if you will, I've made it. I mean, I don't spend money on frivolous things, I save all my money, and once a year, I take an extravagant trip abroad. So this year, I went to Iceland for 24 hours.
Damn, that's
I went
awesome.
it was crazy, to Reykjavik. So there's a direct flight now from Nashville to Reykjavik, and it
Yeah.
was really inexpensive, and so I was there for 24 hours solo, which I love
Mhm.
solo traveling also. So I did as much as I could. I went to the local, like, hot springs
Oh,
there, where
nice.
everybody, like, was stared at me because I was the only American and I didn't understand the language, but I was very respectful and I was doing everything you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
There's lots of rules. You have to get naked and shower and bathe and make sure you wash with soap and all that sort of stuff. I did all that.
Oh, yeah.
But so then from there, I went to Rome and met up with 2 friends there, and then we were there for 2 days, and then from there, my best friend Jeremy, who we've traveled, together a lot, he's gay, by the way. A lot of people thought we were on our honeymoon
Oh,
'cause you can't
yeah.
travel with a man without them thinking that you guys are together, but he's a gay man, and we had a fabulous time together and, bopping all over Croatia, but everyone kept being like, "Oh, is this your honeymoon? Are you all together?" You know, we even did, like, a
Yeah.
spa thing, and they had set up a couple's room for us. I was like, "If I see his dick, I'm gonna throw up. So,
Yeah.
please, we are not together."
Ah, dude, that happens the older you get and you stay single or whatever, that happens a lot more than it should, you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, and you can't just embrace the fact that, like, I have an amazing job, I work very hard, I've saved my money to go on a trip, and, like,
Yeah,
that can't be the thing that we're talking about. No, it has
right.
to be, like, I'm still an incomplete woman because I'm not there with a partner.
Dude, yeah, where it's like, "Oh, well, you must travel with a man. You can't possibly as a small woman go on your own."
Yes, right, exactly, I need protection.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, for your
yeah.
protection from other men, basically, so
Yeah, basically.
Oh, boy. Well, I'm stoked to talk to you about these movies. So let's start with, Return of the Jedi. It's the first one you remember seeing. An audience for some stats. It came out in 1983. Director Richard Marquand and starring, Mark Hamill, James Earl Jones, Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher, among many other people that are famous and became famous at Star Wars and were famous before and will be famous after Star Wars. What a thing to have on a resume. So you know, so Marie, tell me about the first time you saw this movie that you remember seeing it.
Well, so this movie is so special to me because I have a very distinct memory of my family. All my aunts and uncles, grandparents lived in Florida, and
Mhm,
we were in Nashville. And so we would drive to Florida, and I think it was about a 16-hour drive every time we'd go, and we probably went like twice a year.
mhm,
So this one time, I'm not sure how old I was, but I must have been maybe 6, 7 or so. So the movie had been out for a while, so much so that it was, like, on television.
mhm,
So we're driving to Florida. We've probably been in the car altogether for 12 hours or so. We stop at, like, some Scottish inn or, like, something. I remember we would stay at, like, Motel 6 or Super 8s or, like, nothing fancy on this drive. But
yeah,
so we stopped off at some pretty shady hotel, and, my dad bet me that I would not stay up and watch this new movie, Return of the Jedi.
mhm.
And he said, "So much so, you're gonna fall asleep. If you do stay up and watch it all the way through, I'll give you $1." And I was like, "Oh, I am going to get that dollar." And sure enough, I was at the edge of the bed. I watched the entire movie.
Yeah,
My 2 sisters passed out, my mom
mhm.
passed out, and then my dad started snoring, and I was like,
Ah,
"I did it, I won." And so I got
yeah,
the dollar the next day. But so much so, it was just like that memory of having it all to my own.
mhm,
Like, it was just very special to watch something so different, and we had grown up with, like, all Disney. We were very
yeah,
protected, very
yeah.
Christian, very, like,
Oh, yeah.
they yeah, you know,
Yeah.
like, very limited to what we could watch, and so
Yes.
the fact that my dad even was like, "Here's something completely different," and I'd heard of Star Wars,
Mhm.
but really had never watched anything like it,
Oh, wow.
and then the little teddy bears at the end, I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love this movie so much," and so, yeah, it just has really stuck with me, and I love the whole. I mean, especially, like, the first trilogy.
Oh, yeah.
um I'm an '80s kid, so, like, that's always gonna be my thing,
Mhm.
but, I don't know, I love that movie so much, I think because, Princess Leia, I was, like,
Yeah.
so there for that bikini.
Oh,
um,
yeah.
Jabba the Hutt, her killing him, I loved it, I just thought it
Yeah.
was epic, like, feminism. I didn't even understand quite what it meant at that
Mhm.
age, but, like, I just really it stuck with me, and I still love it to this day. And it
Oh,
reminds me of my dad. I mean, my dad
wow.
passed away last year, and,
Mm.
it's just a really special memory that he didn't think I could do something, and I showed him, which has
Yeah.
been my entire life,
Yeah.
proving him that I could do things that he didn't think I could do. Some people have parents who think that they could, achieve the stars. My parents really
Right.
just kept it very, they my expectations were just average.
Yeah, very modest.
Yes, very they believe in me, but it was just like,
Yeah.
don't try too hard."
Right,
So,
right. Oh, man,
yeah.
dude, that's awesome. What a great story. So eventually did you eventually get I mean, eventually you saw the first 2 movies. When did you end up seeing those first 2?
Oh my goodness. Well, I don't even remember really. I mean, I remember the first one, Star Wars,
Mhm.
which you didn't you talk about it recently on your show?
I
Yes.
did,
Yeah.
yeah.
This is not a Star Wars podcast, folks.
No.
Sorry to keep bringing Star Wars.
You're
But yeah, I
good.
listened to that episode. That was a great episode
Thank
that
you.
you just did. So I don't really remember seeing that one, but I do remember Empire Strikes
Mm,
Back. It was because, them slicing open and, like, getting in the animals to stay warm and,
yeah.
just the epic fights and things, but it wasn't until, I think, later on in high school and college where, we were experimenting with drugs that how fun it was to, like, do drugs and watch Star Wars, baby. So,
Oh,
I that was
yeah.
fun. We
That's
went through that
awesome.
phase, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it's funny, yeah, the other episode isn't out yet. This is the 3rd time Star Wars has come up on this podcast, which,
Star Wars podcast,
a
sorry,
pretty
no.
no, don't be sorry. I love it because I assume that there'd be a lot of Star Wars and a lot of Disney on here for especially, like, mostly it's ever been everyone's first movies they remember, and I think that's
Mhm.
I think it's so cool that something like movies and art can be such a collective experience for everyone too, that, like, people who live in different sides of the country and are in different ages, different backgrounds, but yeah, Star Wars is a big one for a lot of people, which I think is just which makes it really just special, and that's why art's so important, you know?
I love, though, when I meet somebody who has never seen a single Star
Oh,
Wars
yeah.
movie, and
Oh,
they're, like,
yeah.
so proud of it, and it makes me so angry, and then they love, you know, getting me all angry about it, but
I know.
if you're listening and you haven't seen Star Wars, I would love to know, again, like, why?
Yeah.
There's so many of them. You can pick whichever one you want.
Right.
There's just so many.
There's so many options, there's TV shows at this point, you know, there's so many things. I'm with you on that. I'm that way also with Lord of the Rings, where it's like, why haven't you seen why haven't you? They're on TV all the time. Like, what have you missed? Like, and also, yeah, people, it's almost like a personality trait or a point of pride. And I'm just like, not
Yeah,
seeing something and not showing yourself something is not what I would think is
yeah.
a personality trait. You know what I mean?
I think
Limiting
if
yourself.
somebody yeah, if somebody hasn't seen Star Wars, it's like, do not apply for this.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? That should be on my
literally.
dating profile for sure. Of
Yeah,
like, you
yeah,
have to love
it's
George Lucas, you have to love yeah, not Jar Jar Binks. I was that was a flop of a movie in my mind, whichever
oh,
that when Jar
That wa
Jar was
that
in
was,
it.
oh, that was the first episode 1.
Remake.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, that was disappointing.
Man,
And then I didn't see, like, the remakes for a while, like,
oh,
you
yeah.
know, I rushed to the theater to see that one and then was like,
Mhm.
"What have they done to our legacy?"
Dude, it's funny 'cause those were the ones that were coming out in theaters when I was a kid. I was, like, the late
Right.
'90s, early 2000s, and so I saw all of those in theaters, and I thought as a kid, I was like, "Oh, these are awesome," you know? I thought Anakin was cute, both iterations of Anakin, you know? But looking back, I'm like, they're not great, but also, like, after seeing how Disney's kinda fucked everything up with the newer ones, I'm like, "Okay, they're not the worst," you know?
Right. Yeah. They left room for, the worst ones.
Oh, yeah, don't worry. Yeah, don't worry. J.J. Abrams really made sure to, like, be like, "Oh, you think you've seen the worst Star Wars? Well, I will
Right.
tell you."
Yeah. I will say Mandalorian is
Mm.
my favorite television show. I
Oh,
just love that TV show.
it's so
And
good.
I'm obsessed with Baby Yoda, which I'm
Yes.
sure well, I have my laundry out right now, so you can't see. I have all these collectibles of Baby Yodas because once you tell somebody you love Baby Yodas,
Mhm.
they that's what you get for all birthdays and holidays and things.
Oh,
And then
I
I have
love
a
it.
big Yoda poster behind me,
Yeah.
and the story behind that was,
Mhm.
I got that from the Smithsonian when I was in 8th grade when our church choir went to DC to perform, and they had a Star Wars exhibit at the Smithsonian.
Mhm.
And I was so excited to see it, and I left the group, I went by myself, I rushed up to see it, and we were supposed to be back at the bus because we had a performance at a local church that we
Yeah.
could not miss, but I was like, "I'm not leaving, I have to
Yeah.
see the Star Wars exhibit," and then I saw it quickly, and I rushed to then I had to get this poster from
Mhm.
that exhibit, and they were like, we have to go," and I was like, "Leave me, just
Yeah.
leave me, I
Leave
don't
me
have to be in."
behind. Leave me
Yeah, for my
alone.
Yoda poster, they're like, "You are such a nerd." And I got the poster and they waited and we were a little late for the
Yeah.
choral performance, but that poster is so near and dear to me because I
Ah.
think it represents ha well, it represents my selfishness and how much I will, make people wait for me. I don't know, that's probably
No.
not a good message, but
No, I love it.
just make a whole bus full of kids wait for me to buy my Yoda poster. I think that does say a lot about me and my selfishness, but that's alright.
No, it's fine, and also shame on the other kids for also, like, why weren't the other kids like, "Yeah, I wanna see the Star Wars exhibit." Like, I would
Yeah,
assume other
nobody
kids would
else
have wanted.
cared.
That's so
Yeah, nobody else
weird.
cared. But
Huh.
I'm a very, like, if I want something, I'm gonna get it. So I
Yes.
wanted it, and I got it,
I
and
love it.
I think if there was a fire
Yeah.
in my house, everyone's like, "What would you grab?"
Right.
I would grab my Yoda poster because I can't find
Oh.
it online.
Yeah.
It's like uh, a collect like a mosaic of,
Mm.
images from the trilogy, the original trilogy
Oh,
that puts together Yoda.
that's so cool.
Yep, I'm cool.
No.
No matter what you heard, I'm
Yeah.
still cool.
Yeah, no, Marie's the coolest.
Thanks.
Uh, you are, truly, I mean, I would have done the same thing, honestly, like, I've done worse for a lot less, I feel like, you
Right,
know?
right.
So I'm curious, so how do you feel we talked about this a little bit already, but how do you feel that Return of the Jedi impacted you as a kid? Like, in your mindset, your day-to-day, like, how you viewed the world?
Mm. I mean, I remember this is so weird, but I remember after seeing Return of the Jedi, um, my imagination really took off, and, like, I would go play outside and try to, um, reenact scenes from Return of the Jedi all by
Mm.
myself,
Yeah.
with, like, doing a lightsaber or, like, with a stick or whatever, but the thing that I was even more interested in was the sound effects, which
Mhm.
is oddly, perfect because I work in sound now as a
Yeah.
podcast editor and host and producer. Um, I just have always loved, sound design,
Mhm.
and so much so that, like, when I was playing in the backyard and reenacting, like, Return of the Jedi, there's scenes, like, when Luke is with Yoda and he's walking
Mhm.
through the swamp, that
Mhm.
sound of the footsteps in the swamp, like, I would pile up mud in the backyard and, like, try to mimic the
Oh,
same sound effects, which is so
yeah.
weird.
No, it's
But,
awesome.
yeah, but it was my early, like, ASMR
Yeah.
like, addiction, I guess, or something. But, like, just play. It made
Mhm.
me open up and play by myself or play with my sisters or, just my it got my imagination going, and, I think, it was my first introduction to, like, space other than what we were learning in school,
Right.
but just what's out there, and, I mean, it really opened my brain because also I was going to church and learning about God and
Right.
creation during that young age, and then all of a sudden you see a sci-fi movie that debunks everything that you've been, shoved down your throat. It really did have such a huge impact in, the my expansion of, like, life. I know that sounds so profound for just a Return of the
No.
Jedi, but as a kid, I was so overprotected,
Yeah.
and to have that chance of to see this film, and then all of a sudden know that these aliens didn't exist, but what if they did, you know?
Yeah. Oh,
So it started making me ask questions, lots of
yeah.
questions to my parents and teachers and stuff.
Yeah. Oh, dude, that's beautiful though. That like it is really profound. And like again, like movies just like art just can have that impact on you no matter what it is. And it's just like I feel you also growing up sheltered, like anything that I was shown of the outside world, basically, I was just like, oh my goodness. Like, like it just blew my mind. And Star Wars for sure. It's just so different than anything that ever really it's still pretty different than anything that's actually ever existed. I feel like it kind of was
Mhm.
I know George Lucas pulled from it was an amalgamation of, like, other things that he had enjoyed before to make the first Star Wars movie, but it still just exists as its own entity, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
So, I the fact yeah, it's really cool.
And I love fantasy, like,
Mhm.
you said Lord of the Rings, like, I loved reading Harry Potter and I know
Yeah.
JK is a thing, but,
Oh, I
besides her,
know. Yeah.
we, I still love Harry Potter, and I love those movies, and I love Hunger Games, like, I just love these adventures,
Mhm.
fantasy type stuff, and, I think more women should. I think it's just
Yes.
such a fun genre of of art, you know? And if
Yeah.
you've ever had the chance to go to, like, one of those the cons,
Oh, they're fun.
um, they're so fun and they're
Yeah.
so freaky, like, they're
Yeah.
freaks, I love them. 'Em, we're all freaks together, and you dress up, and
Mhm.
you can just let your freak flag fly, and there's no judgment, and everyone's just so kind, and
Yeah.
um, I really love dressing up and like, even this year, I think for Halloween, I wanna be Arya from, Lord of
Yes.
the Rings, mainly
Oh.
because I just got this dog and she's my little dire wolf, but I
Yes.
also did when we were in Dubrovnik in Croatia, and we went on a Game of Thrones tour and got to see a lot of places where they filmed Game of Thrones, and I
Oh.
was such a huge fan of Game of Thrones
Yeah.
up until the end a little bit, but,
Right, right.
but I just love, like I don't write like that as a writer, as a
Mhm.
filmmaker, like, I'm not a world creator, like
Mhm.
an architect, been learning more of, like, proper terms to call screenwriters, but, like,
Mhm.
I took a class recently at The Porch, shout out The Porch.
Oh, we love the
You've been
porch.
teaching yeah, you've
Yeah,
taught many times there,
yeah.
yeah, I took a really great class, just on short films, and I've taken lots of different screenwriting classes and stuff, but our teacher was talking about the writers that create worlds and,
Mhm.
like, I'm not that I don't write like that, but, George Lucas, obviously, J.K. Rowling, like,
Mhm.
um, I just brilliant their people are these writers are brilliant to be able to just come up with, um, all this sort of stuff. Like, Fourth Wing, I've been reading all those
Oh,
fantasy
yeah.
books too, and I just don't know how they do it. They must have just they just do it that's the only thing they do because 'cause they're
Right.
creating like, to draw a map and, like, a
Yeah.
full world is so cool to me, but maybe I'll do it someday, but I don't have a world in my brain yet.
Dude.
That sounds weird. Like, you know what I mean?
No. Oh, I feel you. Oh my god, on this podcast too, one of the other people who brought up Star Wars, his episode's not out yet, but he's a good friend of mine, Matt Brown, and he's a fantasy writer, and he's written
Oh, see?
multiple novels. He has an agent, he's written multiple novels, he does historical fiction, he does all these he also does, like, deep world building, and I just am like I think he's so brilliant because 'cause I'm like, "How do you?" Because he and I, we both read about the same amount of fantasy, like, that's how we met and became friends, and we
Mhm.
both love reading. But I'm like, he actually can make these whole things and have these whole list of rules for the world, and I just don't even know how people do that,
I don't know either, and different languages, like, they come
The
up with, like
languages!
yeah,
Oh
the
my god.
languages, I'm like, "How are you
Yeah.
doing this?"
Yeah.
Yeah, it's magic to me, it truly is.
It is. I mean,
So
but then people say, "Oh my goodness, stand-up comedy is so hard," and I'm like, "I don't know if it's that hard." You know what I mean?
yeah, I might say that George Lucas may have a harder job, but,
I think so. Then us going up there being, "Oh no, my
yeah,
pussy. Oh
farts and
no." Yeah.
yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I agree, I agree.
But I will say, Courtney, you just filmed your hour, and that
Yeah.
is really, really, really hard,
Oh,
so
thank you.
yeah.
It's coming along, like, I think I'm locking in some final details on, like, the premiere and
So
stuff.
exciting.
I'll tell you off air because I don't wanna jinx it or anything like that, but
Yes,
I think
knock
I
on
have
wood. Mhm.
yes, I have some things together that I think we're looking for late February, so I know, it's very exciting, and
That is
it
so
looks great,
exciting.
and yeah, Audience Marie worked on the special. I also had Drew Harrison on this podcast too. His episode's coming out this week, so I guess, like, or it's coming or I guess when this comes out, his episode will already have been out, but yeah, we talked about that a little bit too, and
Oh, it's so
yeah.
fun.
Oh,
That's great.
thank you. I'm thankful. I'm thankful that it all worked out, because there's people who do things and then they don't work out for whatever reason, so I'm thankful that it worked out. Um, but because who's to say? But I'm curious, and I think you've touched on this a little bit too already with Return of the Jedi. But do you still love it? Do you still love this movie? And what do you take from it now as an adult?
Mm. Yes, I still love it. I don't watch it often. It kinda makes
Mhm.
me sad because my dad is no
Yeah.
longer here, but, um, I think there still is such a huge conversation about the Force,
Mhm.
and whenever I watch any Star Wars movie, that's what I get very spiritual about it.
Mhm.
I think I saw you post last night when you were watching, like, you get teary-eyed
I
when you
do.
watch yeah,
Oh,
and it's
yeah.
that same thing. It's like, what connects us? You can get very philosophical about Star
Yeah.
Wars, and I
Mhm.
still remain that way about Return of the Jedi, and
Mhm.
all of them, but specifically that one because, obviously, it's the last one, and I mean, the last one of the trilogy,
Right.
original trilogy, but and it kinda wraps it up in such a nice bow of just, like, the Force is always here and in you,
Yeah.
and I don't know, not to get too spiritual but, like, I really have come to terms with, like, I don't know really what I believe these days, except that, like, I am very grateful that there's a piece of the creator, whoever created whatever this is,
Mhm.
maybe it's we're in a petri dish or
Yeah,
this is a
right.
simulation or whatever, but
Yeah.
I'm grateful that, like, I have a piece of the creator in
Mhm.
me, and that feels like it's the Force, and so,
Yeah.
if you can tap into the Force, um, we all have that within us, and I think more than ever, we've forgotten that we're
Uh-huh.
connected, and,
Yeah.
um, it's a really, really, really scary time, and if we
Mhm.
could all just maybe all sit back, watch some Star Wars, and
Yeah.
remember that we're all connected or yeah, there's a Death Star amongst us right now.
Dude. Yeah.
So,
Yeah,
it's
dude.
alright. Yeah.
I feel you on that, and I think also the Force, like, also for creative people too, like, I remember I read the book Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. Have you read that book by chance?
I haven't read that one from her, yeah. I
It's
have
it
yeah.
it's
I
awesome. It's
do
all
like her a lot.
She's great. I love everything I've read by her, but that book really sticks out to me because it's talks about being creative and and being an artist and creativity and how everything we're all connected. And then if an idea shows up to you and kind of sits in front of you, you have to grab it. If you don't, it'll move on to someone else because
Mm,
it needs to be out into the world. And I know Prince had a very similar thought process to making music. I know I've heard Taylor Swift also say describes inspiration as kind of like that before in interviews. So I think that
you have to grab it, yeah.
yeah, you have to grab it because it's like this little thing that's waving in front of you, and it's there for only a finite amount of time, and if you don't take advantage of it, it goes to someone else, and that's where I think
Ooh, yeah.
her yeah, her philosophy is like, you think you have an idea and then you don't do anything about it, then 10 years later you see a product or you see something that someone else made that is verbatim what you thought of, and it's like, "Well, I had that idea, but, like, well, you didn't take it, it was there, and then it moved on," and I think a lot of times with, like, I think of the Force as like that too, as, like, as an artist where it's like we are all connected together, humanity. I think every organism, even down to like mushrooms, like we're all like connected in this way
Right.
and we all kind of move in this rhythm. And it's like if something is presented to you because of the universe, because of whoever, whatever, is like, well, that's your chance to take it. And if you don't, it's okay. Maybe it wasn't time for you, but it does everything. I think it's easy to look at creativity and being an artist that way, where everything is available to you at any time. It's just if you have the foresight and like being in tune to grab a hold of it.
Mhm. Yeah, there's nothing like letting that just through your fingers,
Mhm.
and then
Yeah.
you feel it. Yeah,
Yes, I
yeah.
definitely
Gotta
understand,
grab it. Gotta really
absolutely.
grab it hard.
Yes, absolutely. And you mentioned that this movie makes you sad to think about because of your dad passing. I also just think this movie is such a like a father-son movie. I know they say Empire
Mhm.
Strikes Back definitely has like the "I am your father" line, but this one is like, Luke having to fight his own dad, who he never knew.
Right.
He has his information that his own sister doesn't have yet, you know what I mean? And, like, it's just I think of this as such a like a it's such a it's so sad, it's like this farm boy, who grew up, who
I
was like
know.
kind of whiny at the beginning, but then grew into being this like being a Jedi and accepting the role of being the reluctant hero. And then he has his final task is like beating his dad after like he loses his hand. You know what I mean? It's
Right,
kind of crazy.
right.
And that makes me sad to think about. It's like, oh, this poor boy, like he had been through so much and he finally meets his dad and his dad's trying to kill him.
It is sad. It is so
Yeah.
sad, but he does not I mean, he kills the emperor
Yes.
instead of him, so there is a little bit of silver lining, but yeah, in the end, he probably would've just killed him, but he had to, yeah, kill him.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
family drama
Dude.
also,
No.
sci-fi family drama.
Yeah, no kidding. I think that's what makes good sci-fi and fantasy because you think about Game of Thrones and it's like basically watching politics and watching family politics, and then so
Mhm.
I think the backbone of any good fantastical world is that realistic, like, through line where it's like, you think about, like, yeah, like Star Wars is a family movie, basically, it's a movie about a family, like, found family and, like,
Mm.
reckoning with your past and stuff like that, and I think that's what makes it so 'cause it could just be, pew, 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 and, like, zooming around and stuff, and it has that, but there's a lot of substance to it that people don't always give it credit for.
I will say when Harrison Ford, and Carrie Fisher finally kiss, like,
Oh,
as a kid, I was,
yeah.
like, obsessed with, like, watching anybody kiss. Like, I wanted to kiss so bad. Like, so much so, like, when Clueless came out, I
Yeah,
had it on VHS, and at the very end, Paul Rudd and
yeah,
her, like, make out, and you can
yeah.
see her this is TMI, okay, but you can see her tongue going in his mouth,
Yeah.
and I would stop it, rewind, watch it, because I was, like, studying the art of French kissing,
Yeah.
and I broke the VHS because I did it too many times, like, burn it
Right.
out because I
Oh
was
my
trying to learn
god.
how to kiss.
That's
'Cause
so
French
funny.
kissing was so crazy, like, concept as a child to
Mhm.
be told, like, someone's gonna stick their tongue in your mouth, and I
Yeah.
wanted to be prepared.
Yeah, use just in case
I
whenever
still
it
wasn't when
happens.
I finally had it,
Right.
but yeah. But my first, like, obsession with, like, kissing was Harrison Ford and Carrie Fisher.
Oh, I
Like, I
mean,
was, like, so romantic.
just two of the hottest people ever. Yeah, I get
I
it, you know what I
know.
mean?
Yeah, I loved it. I
Oh,
love kissing on I mean, I love kissing, I love
yeah.
kissing, but
Yeah.
I know I love watching, like, proper good
Mhm.
kisses on screen.
Dude, I think about that a lot, not a lot, well, maybe I think about it a healthy
Look at us, we're just 2 single
Yeah,
girls watching people kiss on
I
the
know,
big
I know.
screen.
I think about it a healthy amount, and so Because it is just something there's something like a bit of a lost art to it, you know? Like, I love the Pride and Prejudice. I love the Keira Knightley one from
Oh,
2005.
yeah.
Oh my god, the
Mhm.
kissing and the urinating and that, and it's so romantic, and it's like,
Ugh,
what like, now, like, what have what has happened to us as a society that's not,
I
because
don't know, I just gave a speech to a man the other day on a date because he was like, "What are you looking for?" I was like, "Have you seen Pride and Prejudice?" I mean, I don't know. I would also like
Yeah.
to be chained up next to, Jabba the Hutt, like,
Right,
I like both
right.
best of both worlds.
Yeah, I think both I think, there's nothing wrong with wanting both in life, you can take
Yeah,
multitudes.
yes, we absolutely do, don't we, Courtney?
Yes, but yeah, movie kisses, man, also, like, I don't know if you ever watched the TV show New Girl, but the first time that
Mhm.
Zoe Deschanel and Jake Johnson's characters get together and they kiss, it is a hell of an epic kiss, and it's, like, it's so good that there's not even any music or it's just hearing them make out, I'll send you a clip of it,
Yeah.
it's just, like, one of those things where it's, like, people don't even kiss like this, like, I don't this is not
I
real,
know,
but,
people don't really kiss like they do in the movies, I learned that the hard way too. I'm
Yes.
like, "Let's embrace, you hold me like this," and they're like,
Yeah, hold my
what?"
face like so, and
Yeah, touch my yeah, no,
and
they
it
don't do that anymore.
definitely more of a jackhammer method, I feel like, just with the tongue just like a doorbell, I
Oh,
feel
yeah,
like.
ding dong, no thanks, next. Yeah.
Honestly. I no, but their kiss is so romantic, and I also like and I shared a little bit about this too on social media where it's like, I know it's super emotional when Yoda's passing away, but man, he is
Oh.
it's so sad, but it's also he's so avoidant where it's like I was talking to a friend of mine the other day where I was like, "Yeah, Yoda rather pass away than tell Luke who his dad is." You know what I
I know, right. Yeah, Yoda's
mean?
a little bitch.
He is. He's a pussy. He's like, "Oh, you're almost done training. Well, you have to do one more thing, but also I'm deciding to pass away
Yeah,
now."
I'm gonna go. Actually,
Yeah, he's like,
yeah.
I'm gonna peace out, like, I've done my thing, I rode on your back through the mud, like, I can't do anything else for you."
Wait, what is that video, of it was a YouTube viral video of, like, the Yoda on the back. Do you know
Yeah.
that one? The lip syncing.
Oh, yes, I know what you're talking about.
This is
Yeah, and
probably not very interesting. Yeah, but that was one of my favorite videos too recently.
it's
I'll send that
good.
to you. You send me the kiss from New Girl,
Yeah.
I'll send you whatever
Yes.
the heck I'm talking about.
Yes. No, I think I know what you're talking about because I feel like it's probably popped up on TikTok or something too,
Oh
but
my god, it's the funniest video, but it
uh,
shows Yoda being very funny, so
yes, I mean, I was just not when I rewatched, Return of the Jedi yesterday, I was like, "Man, he really dropped the ball on that." Then he left it up to Obi-Wan to be like, "Oh, by the way, you made out with your sister who's
right,
also late." You know what I mean? And when Obi-Wan's like, "Well, why didn't you tell him?" He's like, "Well, he didn't ask." You know?
right. Yeah,
I'm like, "What a
great.
sneaky little bitch." You know what I mean?
Yeah, we all need to go to therapy, friends.
Honestly, yeah, you kissed your sister, your mentor wouldn't even tell you about it.
Right, right. Your dad's trying
Um
to kill you. It's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, it's all good, like, you're crushing it, dude, you're doing great, and also, what is he, like 18 years old? Like, he's a kid, He's a
Right.
young I feel like they're all pretty young, I mean, I think Han is a little bit older than obviously older than both of them, but,
Mhm,
like, they're all, like, very young in this supposed to be very young in in these movies. Ugh,
mhm.
man. But, Marie, how about are you ready to move on to Lost in Translation?
Well, since we're talking about kissing
Oh,
and
yes.
yes, we can
Speaking of,
definitely
it's a good
yeah,
segue. Uh,
that's
so
right.
audience, just for some stats here, Lost in Translation came out in 2003, written and directed by Sofia Coppola and starring Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson. Marie, why is this your favorite movie?
You know what? I watched it on the plane, and, I don't know if it is still my favorite movie. Not that I just get out in front of that,
Mm.
but it still holds up, and I still
Yeah,
really enjoy it, and when I saw it for the first time, it blew my mind.
yeah,
Um, I think, like yeah, what is my absolute favorite movie? That is so hard to
I know.
say, really. I think if I had to really, really, really think about it, Jurassic Park would probably still be my
Oh,
absolute favorite movie, but I'm
yeah.
glad I said Lost in Translation because I did rewatch it, like I said, recently, and it for the time that I watched it, I had never seen anything where that, like, highlighted a city as a 3rd character so
Mm,
much, and,
yeah,
like, just like a slice of life type film. I still love it. It's definitely, like,
yeah.
top for me. Um, it's just yeah, I was like, "Yeah, that's my favorite," and then rewatched it, it's like, "Huh, I haven't seen this in 10 years."
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's still good, but,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to be like, "Is that my absolute favorite?" Um, but for the purpose of the show, yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
I
Um, yeah. What do you think of it?
I liked it. I liked it a lot. I saw it like God. I saw it, yeah, maybe like 10 years ago or something like that. And I was definitely because I was definitely in a heavy Sophia Coppola phase for a while, like, or as
Mhm.
every young lady is in their early mid 20s, So I was watch everything that she had made, then I kind of I started revisiting her stuff again when Priscilla came out I think it was last year when it came out or 2 years ago. And so like I didn't end up watching this again on the rewatch. It just one of the ones I couldn't get a hold of at the time. But I really on rewatching it for this, I really enjoyed it. Like it is I forgot, like, how, like, quiet it is and just,
Yes,
like,
I know.
and, like, how there just really isn't a lot that happens in this movie, but it's so beautiful. It's such a contrast to Return of the Jedi too. I feel like
I know.
where one is all plot, all getting to the
Right,
finish line, and this one's just like, "What if we just hang out in Tokyo for, like, a couple of weeks?" You know what I mean? And
right.
it's just so beautifully shot. Like, I just think that she's such a master of her craft with, like, color grading and editing. Like, it's just, like, everything of hers is just so soft, you know what I mean? Where you
Mhm.
feel but also it's soft, but it's without it being, like, too, like, it's not super warm, you know what I mean? It's soft
Mhm.
because it is cold, it is about loneliness, and so I think the visuals, everything she did with that really gets the point across, and I just think the acting is just top tier, like,
It
you
really
know?
is, and I think when I first saw it, what I remember the most, and this is so sad, but
Mhm.
Scarlett Johansson looks like a real woman.
She does. Yeah.
She's like yeah, and this was really bizarre too that Len so I watched it, like I said, for the 3rd time, 4th
Yeah.
time, just watched it on a plane, but on my screen, I'm watching, Lost in Translation. The passenger sitting right next to me was watching the most recent Wes Anderson movie where
Yeah.
has a part in, and
Yeah,
so she
yeah,
came up on screen while I was watching Lost in Translation, and I
yeah.
quickly, like, looked at her face now
Mhm.
to her before, and obviously, like, every actor these days has to have some sort of work done,
Yeah.
and she's obviously older, and she's aged so gracefully and stuff,
Mhm.
but she looks now like a Hollywood
Yeah.
actress, and in Lost in Translation, she's gorgeous woman, but she
Yeah.
looks like it gave me comfort that there was somebody on screen that had my body. She had,
Mhm.
bigger breasts and, like, she had a little belly and,
Yeah.
I hate talking about other people's bodies and stuff, but for me, watching
Mhm.
that movie for the first time, it made me feel seen, it made me feel more confident in my body. I just
Yeah.
hadn't seen a woman with curves in a feature film like that, um, and it was such a big deal to me. So,
Yeah.
that's why it really has stuck with me through the years, and also, like, I always had an infatuation with Japan,
Mhm.
and I just loved how Sofia Coppola captured, Tokyo and just, and when I'd first seen it, I'd never traveled anywhere,
Mhm.
so it was just this, like, dream to go, and I did have the chance to finally go a couple years ago, and I could only think about, like, Lost in Translation when I was there. I
Yeah.
was like, "Let's go to a karaoke place. I need a pink wig." Like, I'm a
Yes.
basic bitch. I need to just do the things, but I mean, Japan is just a magnificent country, and to then have gone and then rewatch Lost in Translation, it does have that, like, the jet lag situation there is out of
Yeah.
control 'cause it's 12 hours
Oh,
difference.
god.
And so, like, yeah, when everyone's asleep, you're awake for the first couple of days, you're there,
Mhm.
but the city is still going because it's
Yeah.
that big of a city. Um, and what I loved too in my rewatch is, like you said, the stillness of it, and, also on my trip, I watched, Before Sunrise,
Oh god, those
which is
movies are so
also
good.
I love again, like, "What's your favorite movie?" I'm like, I should have said Before Sunrise because I
Yeah.
love that movie, but that's
Yeah.
another movie so I watched Lost in Translation and then Before Sunrise, like, one after the other on the plane because I was in the air forever,
Yeah.
um, and watching that and, like, the amount of dialogue in this one film
Uh-huh.
with that same but it's that same slice of life moment between humans where Bill
Mhm.
Murray and Scarlett Johansson were having kind of that similar experience connection, whatever, but with very little dialogue.
Right.
But it felt very similar.
Yeah.
Vienna was the 3rd character in Before Sunrise, and then obviously Tokyo and Kyoto. She goes to Kyoto also. Like,
Mhm.
it's just to watch those back to back, highly recommend.
Yeah.
Very random, but, that was really fun to do, actually.
Oh, that's aw I mean, I love the Before trilogy, it's just so good.
Oh, I
It
know, completely obsessed, and
yeah,
completely obsessed with, like I was studying more of, like, how like, when they did the
mhm.
edits and stuff, and, like, they
Yeah.
really just held the camera on them for so
Yeah.
long.
Yeah. I love it, and it's like, I saw someone do a letterbox review for those movies and being like, "I guess I've never had a conversation before."
Ah,
I'm like, "That's such a good joke."
yeah,
It's so true, I'm just
that
like
is so true.
that's another one of those movies too, kind of up with the kissing stuff too, where it's just like, God, to have that banter, that back and forth with someone, just like it's so yeah, that the yearning of like, oh, I want you that chemistry there, like the restraint. It's so good.
And then to say, "I want to kiss you," or "Do you
Yeah.
want to kiss me?" I can't remember who said it first,
Yeah.
but, like, like, that little consent. I
Yes.
love that little bit of consent, and
I
then they
love
go
it.
for it, and it's so and, like, even for Lost in Translation, I forgot that Bill Murray kisses her
Yeah. Oh
at the
yeah.
very end.
I forgot too because I remember them in the elevator where they kinda kiss on the side of the mouth, as a goodbye or whatever, and
Right,
I was like
yeah,
and I
it's
was
this
like, "Oh, that must"
awkward
yeah, I'm like, "Oh, that must just be the kiss," but then I forgot at the end that he jumps out of his taxi and he runs after her. I was like, "Oh my
Yes!
god, yeah."
I totally forgot that too, and then he turns her around,
Mhm.
and she's crying. She's, like,
Yeah.
really actually upset that, like, her buddy is gone,
Yeah.
and, like, I I think when I also first saw it, like, the age difference was a big deal to me,
Yeah.
but now that I'm older, I'm like, that doesn't matter to me as
Right.
much.
Yeah.
Um, you can have these, like, really intense, intimate, relationships with people of all ages,
Mhm.
and I think that between them, um, the acting was so good that they didn't have to have much dialogue to capture whatever it was that was happening with them.
Right.
Um, I also love his wife's character that you
Me
never
too.
see, you only
Yeah.
hear, but it's in the fax machine too,
Yeah.
which that's just brilliant as well. Also, you don't have to pay an actor to be
Yeah.
there physically. It's like
Literally.
yeah, but it's such a simple but, like, complex movie that really, does still hold up, and it's quite beautiful. I would love to go to Tokyo and have, an affair with an older man.
Yeah.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Yes. Oh
Do
my
it.
god, for real. But do you feel that this movie, could do you feel that this movie because you do love it, it is one of your favorites, do you think that it subconsciously or consciously, like, inspired you to, like, "I'm gonna travel the world, I wanna see everything that I can." Do you think that helped?
Absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I think, like, Before Sunrise, it set the seed planted the seed early too, like, um, yeah, I just never had the opportunity to travel,
Mhm.
when I was younger. I mean, we traveled the US, went back to Florida and stuff, and my parents were able to go a couple places internationally,
Mhm.
when we were in college and stuff and when they retired. But it was never in my budget for sure to
Yeah.
travel. And even especially like Japan, you know?
Yeah,
And
dude.
yeah. And for that, even just a couple years ago, my aunt ran in the Tokyo Marathon and I kind of tagged along on that
That's
trip,
aw that's
which was
awesome.
cool. Yeah, hotels, they were like, "Yeah, you can just stay in our hotel." I'm like, "Cool, cool, cool." Um, but yeah, I think that, all the movies that I've seen that really again, like the city, the place is the 3rd character,
Mhm.
it's just you just wanna go there and then, like, reenact what you've seen or I mean, this
Oh,
is a silly
yeah.
example, but, like, I went to, Austria and, like, we
Mm.
couldn't help but act out Sound of Music. I
I
mean
was gonna yeah, yes, how can you not?
I
Oh
know,
my
you're like,
god.
"I am sorry, I have to break out into The Hills Are Alive now because that
Yeah.
is what I grew up with, and I've always dreamed of being here," and it's just as amazing, and I think that
Yeah.
that's what cinema can do, and it really does transport you. Even if you can't physically go to these places, like, movies
Mhm.
are able to transport you there, and what a
Yeah.
beautiful thing
Yeah.
to
No, it's
educate
true.
yourself.
Yes, no, it's true, and again, like, coming up both of us being sheltered growing up, it's like, yeah, being able to see it movies allow you to see the whole world, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And from your own living room or whatever, and it's such a gift to have that, where if you're not super worldly yourself as a young person, like, you have the chance to at least see it, and then, yeah, and then I think it does inspire people to travel, like, I think about, I think a lot of times New York is used as, like, a 3rd character in movies, you
Right.
know what I mean? And I think about, like When Harry Met Sally, like all these, you know what I mean? And it's just like
Mhm.
it's so beautiful and it's so cool when people really make use of the space that they're in, and being able to to just really showcase the city is really cool. And it's a talent. I feel like that would be hard to make sure you get it right, or at least through your mind get it right, you know?
Right. And especially I'm always curious too of, what maybe you know this, maybe you Googled it, but, like, why did Sofia Coppola want Tokyo? Like, it could have been anywhere.
Right.
Um, yeah, I don't know the answer to that, but, like, when a writer, a screenwriter writes, you know, where the city is such a big part of the movie, it's like,
Mhm.
why? Why did you choose that city, you know?
Right. I think for her, and I remember because she was married to Spike Jones, and both of them made their own movies about how their marriage was falling apart. And so she did Lost in Translation.
Oh.
And then he made her also Scarlett Johansson, and
Oh.
her also, it's futuristic, but it also feels very similar to Japan, like what a Japan would feel
Mm.
like, you know? So I
Mhm.
wonder, like, the Arcade Fire did the score for it. So it is very like futuristic and like very metropolitan, but like not in the US. It doesn't feel like. And so
Mm.
I wonder, I don't really know if maybe they were on a work trip together when they were married to Japan or something, but both movies basically document their
Have
loneliness
that.
towards the end of their marriage. So it's like if you watch both together, it's like a nice little companion piece, almost like speaking to each other through their art and through their experiences. It's really cool.
I did not know that. That
Yeah.
is so wow, now I definitely wanna watch them back to back.
Oh, yeah, and they're almost like they almost came out, I think, 10 years apart too, 'cause, yeah, Lost in Translation was 2003, and then I think Her was, like, 2013, 2014, or something like that,
Mhm.
and, once I learned about that, 'cause when I remember watching Her in theaters too and thinking, like, "This reminds me a lot of Lost in Translation," and I didn't just, like, the themes and, like, the loneliness and the connection, also having Scarlett Johansson is the lead character in both, and then Googling it, it's like, "Oh, they were married, and then their marriage fell apart because both of them were traveling so much, and they just felt like they just felt lonely, and that's what kinda
Mhm.
deteriorated their relationship, which I thought was really it's cool when people put that stuff like that into their art, you know what I mean?
Mm. Yeah, and I think that yeah, you just nailed it with the loneliness aspect of that film, and, like,
Mhm.
when I was just traveling last week, even though I was traveling with one of my best friends, we did have separate
Mhm.
rooms, and we did a lot of different things solo because we have boundaries and we're very good
Yeah,
at communicating because 'cause we've been friends for, like, 20 years. So
yeah.
but, if, like, I wanna do this, I don't wanna do this, we would communicate that. But my reason for saying that is that, like, when you are traveling and you're in these, like, different countries and you don't speak the language,
Mhm.
the loneliness I felt so lonely one morning when I was just walking around in, Dubrovnik, and it just hit me so hard. I saw, like, a huge table that was set for a lunch or something,
Yeah.
and I kind of got teary-eyed of just like, "Man, I have nobody here to" I mean, this is dramatic, but it's like,
Yeah.
there's nobody here that I know that could fill that table,
Yeah.
or and then just, like, that to then watch, like, Lost in Translation and kind of feel like, "Oh, I understand that even if she's married and she has a person there with her, she
Yeah.
still, like, is lonely and alone and a foreigner and doesn't speak the language," and there is a different kind of loneliness when you cannot communicate.
Mhm.
Um, it's yeah, it's pretty profound. But I think
It
that that's, like, the part of travel that also comes along with traveling the world
Yeah.
that is very special to understand, especially as a white woman to be
Mhm.
speaking to that, to, like, what it feels like to be a minority, what it feels
Yeah.
like to not be able to speak the language and, to stand out and, all that sort of stuff. So, I don't know. I don't know if Sofia Coppola really captured all that, but,
Right.
I was wishing a little bit more of that, I think, in the movie
Yeah, no,
on my rewatch.
yeah, I think she does get a decent amount of that too, because even just like you know, it is she does such a good job of making Japan look so beautiful because it is beautiful, and
Mhm.
it's never like it's never like a, "Oh, this is a white person's perspective of a different country," but it is very much like you feel that you see everything through, Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson's eyes of like, yeah, they don't speak the language. They don't have anyone else there. So it is like but it's never like a disrespectful thing, I don't feel like, you know what I mean? But it is so,
Yeah.
it showcases that loneliness too without it feeling degrading or any you know what I mean? And I think she did a
Yeah.
really good job with that.
Well, I did feel like on my rewatch, like, Bill Murray's hesitancy to go all in, obviously, like, that was part of
Oh,
his
yeah.
character,
Yeah.
and, like, just, like, not even trying to understand the language or
Right.
participate, and, I mean, that's just again, like, he was a stick in the mud, he's, like, grumpy about his
Right.
life circumstances, and so it made sense, but it did for a second make me be like, are they making fun of Japanese culture or,
Right.
like or just making fun of the fact that, like, he can't understand it, you know? Like, when
Right.
there's a sex worker that shows up at his
Oh, yeah.
room,
Oh,
you forget
yeah.
about that.
Oh, I forgot. Yeah, I know. I forgot
Yeah,
about
which is
that
part
scene.
of I guess, like, is a part of some of the culture there, and,
Yeah.
you know, this great
Yeah.
scene, though. I love it.
It is. Oh, I do too. But yeah, I wondered that a little bit too when I did the rewatch. I was like, all right, but then I kind of saw it through like at least I saw it through the lens of just like he is curmudgeonly old stick in the mud.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do this job. He you could have probably put him in Italy or anywhere else, and he would have probably still behaved that way. Is kind of how I took it, you
Mhm.
know. And he'd be
Yep.
like, I don't give a shit. I here to get paid. I hate my life, and I
Yeah.
don't give a fuck about you. You know what I mean?
Yep. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. He could have been anywhere. He would have been miserable.
Honestly, and yeah, I thought it was just so well done, and I think this was her Sophia's 2nd movie too after Virgin Suicides, and which is
Yeah.
crazy, you
Yeah.
know? I mean, I get that she comes from a dynasty of filmmaking legends and all that, but still, like, you still have to make things on your own, you know?
Right. And then she made Marie Antoinette, I think,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, I think
Which I really love
afterward.
too.
Oh,
Mhm.
love it. I wish that she would have worked with Scarlett a little bit more, you know, because I know that, Kirsten Dunst was her muse or is her muse, I still feel like to this day, you know?
Mm.
But I thought Scarlett really fit well into the world building that she does, you know? Um,
Absolutely.
so I just think, I think Scarlett, she's obviously so beautiful and everything, but I think people kinda like in the same way that people get about like a Brad Pitt, or it's like you forget that they're really good actors, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know, especially with her, you're like and it's unfortunate. It's like, well, she can't be pretty and talented. It's
Right,
like, no,
right.
actually she can. She's a very talented actress.
Dude, for real, and I think
The
that she
Marriage Story,
loved Marriage
I mean,
Story.
I've only seen it once. I never wanna see it again, but oh
No,
my god.
no, could never watch that again because, like, I feel like, Adam Driver does a great job of being the over the top dramatic, and she's very much like she's more measured in her performance, but also it's still just as powerful because it's like you see all the struggles, like, oh, she can't lash out, because she's a woman, she's a mom, all these things where he's the artist, you know what I
Mm.
mean? He can
Yep.
lash out and punch a hole in the wall and it's fine. All those things and, like, cheat on her and whatever, and I just think about that movie often too, where she gave up her dream of being on TV to like move to New York so that he could have his career, and he resents her for her success. And it's just, I don't know, it's all too real. You know what I mean? Like that's why ladies never give anything up for a man because they will just resent you in the long run.
That's right. You heard it here.
Yeah, you heard it here first. And men, boys, learn how to kiss and don't resent us. Is all I'm saying. So
I will teach you how to kiss. Call me
yes,
and
yes, that'll be part of if you subscribe to my Patreon.
that's right. I'll teach you how to kiss.
Yeah, teach you how to kiss, don't hate us because you ain't us, and
That's right.
that
Yeah, there you go.
but, no,
I love it.
these were such delightful rewatches for me for sure, and, no, I love it. So I have a couple more questions for you, and, yes, I don't wanna take up too much of your time. So what correlations do you see between both of these movies, if you see any at all? 'Cause I feel like I see some.
Ooh, okay. I wanna hear yours first.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think, all the characters in Return of the Jedi, were separated for some time, so I think that this theme of loneliness and then being able to
Mm,
reunite with each other, I think was definitely a theme, and you definitely feel like Luke's loneliness in all the movies, as he is, like, on this quest, he is the chosen one, whatever, he's doing his thing, but there is a sense of severe loneliness because no one else is in the position that he's in, you know what I mean?
mhm.
So I feel that, and obviously I think, as we discussed, Lost in Translation deals with a lot of loneliness and just, like, being on your own and no one else really relating to you. And I think like how Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson found each other, I think that the three main characters and Lando, and the droids and Chewie and all of them, they all found each other. But I think also that all those characters are probably incredibly isolated before getting to be with each other. You know what I mean?
Yeah, oh my god, Courtney, that was beautiful.
Oh,
I
thank
was like,
you.
"I don't know if there's a connection between them other than" I just yeah, I Bill Murray was friends with Harrison Ford. I
Oh,
don't know,
that's right. That's right.
probably. But
Yeah.
no, yeah, no, I think, like, loneliness is a very common theme in that, and also, like, the foreign,
Mhm.
alien aspect of,
Yeah.
being a fish out of water type thing. Um, yeah. Huh, I'm gonna think on this now.
Yeah.
It's really gonna get me.
I also think just like both movies really gave a lot of power to their female characters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
that, and like, and especially with Star Wars, like in a time where, like in that time, like the 80s, you didn't women were not always painted so well in movies, especially action movies, you know what I mean? And Leia is such a badass, like choking out Jabba the Hutt and like just like not taking shit. And that's like she, and something that I love about her and Scarlett's characters that they are both their own people. They're also very feminine. They're not trying to be a girl boss, I guess, in that sense, like, where they're like where it's like, "That's totally fine if you wanna do that and that's who you are," but it's like they are strong because of their feminine qualities and not in spite of them, and
Mhm.
I think because 'cause they're both, like, like Leia is very feminine, she's a princess, she was raised very, like, proper, but she also can kick ass, but also still demand respect, and I think Scarlett's character is very, very feminine and soft, but also super intelligent, and and
Right.
really navigates loneliness in her own way as like a very young, I think she's a college graduate in that movie, like
Mhm.
very young. So I see both of them as being strong leads because of their femininity.
Mm. Yeah, I think you nailed it. That's beautiful.
Oh,
I
thank you.
I wonder if yeah, I wonder if her character would have watched Return of the Jedi
Oh,
on one
uh,
of those lonely nights in Tokyo.
oh yeah, just laying there, just being like, I'll just pop this on, you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, I
and it
could see
being in
that.
Japanese, and then she's reading it
Mm,
the subtitles in English.
subtitles,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Oh
could've
man.
I think we need a Lost in Translation too.
I think so too. I'm like, Sophia, what are you doing? I
Yeah.
mean, she seems like she keeps herself pretty busy, but yeah, we need another movie from her as soon as possible,
I
you
will say
know?
I was such a huge fan of her early work, and
Mhm.
I haven't been as of late, but that doesn't mean that she's not gonna have something else come out that I'm gonna be completely blown away by, you know?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I feel you on that, and I think this happens, and I feel like I've talked about this on here before too, where especially with auteurs, anybody, musicians, anyone where it's like when you're starting out and you just about figure out what works for you, that's your best work, because then, like, Wes Anderson is probably a good example of that too, where it's like,
Right,
I
yeah.
I think that, like, I think Royal Tenenbaums, Rushmore, Life Aquatic, those are all, like, some of his best work, but then once he kinda clicks in and figures out the Wes Anderson style is when, like, I still enjoy all his stuff, but it's like it doesn't have a certain energy anymore. It's almost like, "Oh, well, I know what I'm doing. I do
Yeah,
this.
it's
This is
almost
what I do."
formulaic or something.
Yeah. Formulaic for, like, an art house movie, which is, like, kinda funny to but, like, I think a lot
Yeah.
of auteurs fall into that, you know what I mean? I think Sophia
Mm,
kinda can do that. I mean, I enjoyed Priscilla, but watching I'm like, "Oh, like, yeah, I'm watching a Sofia Coppola movie," and it's, like, the
mm.
certain color grading and, like, these, like, long shots where nothing happens, but, like, what's the substance behind what is she trying to convey with that? And I feel like, even the artsiest and most, like, niche filmmakers, like, any artist, I think, can fall into that, and I feel like these more legacy, auteurs, I think, struggle with that a little bit. I would say anyway, as an
Yeah.
observer.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, like, yeah, early artists' work is, like, they have so much more to prove,
Mhm,
when they're starting
mm.
out too. Like Wes Anderson, yeah, when he first came out of the gate, you're like, "Oh my gosh, I've never seen
Yeah.
anything like this."
Yeah.
And then I just saw his most recent film, and I was like, "Oh, I've seen this before
I know.
of his
Yeah.
many times," like,
Yes.
which is sad because it's like, "Ah, it's Wes Anderson," but and
Dude.
he's doing it again.
Dude.
It's
Dude, I
same movie over and
know.
over again.
He kind of does, dude. I saw The Phoenician Scheme too, and I was like, I did not like French Dispatch, and it's a bummer because my man Timothy Chalamet's in that one, and I wanted to love it. I did not I didn't really love Asteroid City, and it sucks because I love the cast of that too.
Right.
Like Steve Carell's in it, like, I mean, come on, like, And then, seeing Phoenician Scheme, I was hopeful for it, but I was also like, "Alright, like, this is a little more energetic, I guess, than the other 2," but, like,
Um,
it still just was I don't know, like, he needs to speaking of Coppolas, he needs to quit writing with Roman Coppola and go back to working with the Wilson brothers, you know what I mean? Because
oh,
that's
yes.
his stuff isn't that funny anymore, you know, and it's like,
Mhm.
because like, Owen Wilson co-wrote Tenenbaums, I think he worked on Rushmore, all these classics, you know, even like, Life Aquatic was Noah Baumbach, and I think Wes just needs to switch it up a little bit, you know?
Yeah, you know, pull
'Cause
a Taylor
yeah,
Swift and
yeah.
circle back to old producers or writing partners.
Right, run it back a little bit, like, we're
Yeah,
he's not going anywhere, he's only 50, so it's like he has plenty of time to work with
right,
other people,
right.
which, I mean, I can't imagine being only 50 and having that many movies under your belt,
My
you
god,
know?
I would retire and travel the
Yeah.
world.
Oh,
I would be
for
so done.
sure,
Goodbye, yeah.
literally. Well, Maria, I have a few more questions for you. These are like my rapid fire, but they're not
I
really.
love
They
it.
take all the
Okay.
time you need to answer them. So if you had to recast both movies with all Muppets, but keep one human being, who would the human being be in both movies, and who are some of the Muppets you might cast?
Oh my god, I would totally keep Harrison Ford
Yeah.
in Star Wars, um, and obviously, like, Miss Piggy as Princess Leia and
Yeah.
Kermit as Luke. I mean, we could
Yeah.
do a whole yeah, Muppets.
Yeah.
That would be so sweet, but I love Harrison Ford so much,
Mhm.
that I would want to just keep him as a human in
Yeah.
Star Wars and replace all of them with other Muppets.
Yes.
Gosh, for Lost in Translation, which human would I keep?
Mhm.
Oh, man. I mean, yeah, Scarlett Johansson probably as the
Yeah.
human,
Yeah.
but which Muppet would play Bill Murray?
Ooh,
Maybe
yeah.
Monster.
Yeah.
Monster or oh, one of
Yeah.
the old like, wait, oh, we should have replaced him with the 2 old grumpy guys,
Yes, but both of them,
but
like, they
both
both
of
have to
them.
yeah.
Yes, and then Scarlett Johansson has a threesome with
Yes.
them.
I
There we
love
go.
it.
I'd
I'm
watch
so gl
that.
I'm so glad you said Scarlett too, because I feel like if you replaced everybody with Muppets and just kept Bill Murray, the movie would be the same, you know what I mean? Because
Ah,
it'd just be a curmudgeonly old man just dealing with people around
right,
individuals around him he doesn't like, whereas, like, Scarlett having to act opposite Muppets, I think would be really interesting. I think she'd do a lot with that, you
right.
know?
Oh, wait, we just described
Oh, that's
Scrooge, right?
oh, yeah. Oh, we
Yeah,
did, yeah.
that's just Scrooge.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bill Murray's that, right? Yeah.
Yeah, Bill Murray's
Yeah.
Scrooge. Yeah, he's Scrooged or Scrooge
Yeah.
yeah, that's,
Was Bill Murray canceled? Is that something too? Wasn't he
he was, I
wasn't there
think,
some
like
stuff
yeah,
came
like,
out?
I was when I was researching the movie in 2023, he, like, I guess or during COVID, he, like, tried to kiss a crew member or something who had a COVID mask on. He thought it was
Oh,
funny,
right, right.
and I
Yeah,
was
the
just like
kissing things. Yeah.
yeah, and I'm just like, "What is this
I
with
don't know about that.
these old geezers, planting one on people?" I don't know. That's also just like, I yeah,
Yeah.
I know that he apologized for it and did all of that. I don't even think the movie ever even came out, the movie that they were working on, which is
Wow.
crazy.
So that's why
Yeah.
I didn't know. I thought
Yeah.
I heard rumors and that is
Mhm.
that, and
Yeah.
I have no opinion. Actually, I
Yeah.
do. You can DM me and I'll tell you what I think
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah, exactly.
Interesting.
Well,
Fascinating.
it's interesting because Scarlett gave a statement weirdly about all of that too, because or like she commented on it. I think a reporter asked her about it because she apparently her and Bill Murray did not really get along during Lost in Translation. I don't know
Oh,
if you knew
really?
that. Yeah, like he just was not from she was very graceful in how she answered the question, but she was like, he's definitely gotten a lot softer now and he's a different person now. She's like, I think life has humbled him a little bit. I think he was
Mm.
just kind of a jackass, you know, when he made that movie with her, because I think he was definitely back on the come up because he had already done Rushmore, you know, in the indie scene, you know, like, I think 'cause his career was kind of in a lull before he did what worked with Wes Anderson from my understanding, and so I think
Ah.
that was, like he was kind of in the thick of the Bill Murray renaissance, I feel like, and also, like, you know, I hear he's not always the friendliest either, so I can imagine him being paired opposite, like, a young woman being like, "Oh, I have to" you know, this
Mm.
woman who, like I think Scarlett had only done, like I think her other movie was Ghost World, you know what I mean? I don't think she had done a whole lot before then. So I can imagine him probably being kind of a jackass to her too,
Mm.
so but I
Isn't
guess
that
they're all good
amazing
now.
that you just couldn't even tell because they have such chemistry?
I know, and that's it's so crazy where it's like it feels like they both it's like it'd be one thing where you feel like she's really trying to bridge that gap, but they both feel like and they're acting like they're both really working well together. But yeah, I guess
Mhm.
they really didn't have a lot to say to each other, like in between takes and all of that, which is so interesting.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like when I learned, like, Ted Danson and,
Mhm.
um, oh, it's Shelley Long? No,
Yeah,
what's her
yeah.
name? Was it Shelley?
Oh,
No, what's her name? Oh my god. Diane
I'm
sorry.
I'm googling it. Cheers, not cheese.
Diane Chambers is the her
Oh,
character
Yeah,
Shelley Long.
Shelley
Shelley
Long.
Long,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, but they hated each other, and they
Mhm.
had such chemistry in Cheers.
Dude,
Like,
isn't
I would
that
say maybe the best in television history, like, just, like,
I think so too.
crazy,
Yeah.
and they hated each other.
I wonder if that must play into it too, where it's like that rage of like, because like, the opposite of love isn't hate, it's indifference. And so if you hate each
Mm,
other, there is that like, it's that fine line, I feel like, you know?
yeah.
Um,
Well, I
I
think you always have to hate your lovers a little, right?
I think so too. No, I think if I hate you a little bit and, disrespect you a little bit, it'll be a good it'll be a good
It'll be a good night.
yeah, it'll be good. I think if I respect you too much, I won't be able to have sex with you because 'cause I'm just like, "Well, why would I? No, oh, no. I would never approach the bench." I mean, yeah, I think chemistry, like, understanding chemistry between people on screen is such a it's so fascinating to me, because it's like I wanna make movies, I wanna do all of that, and, like, so trying to understand chemistry and, like, trying to watch, either myself when I act opposite people, like, in videos or sketches that I make or whatever, and seeing how that looks. It's like, why do we look good together, or why do these people look good together, but these 2 don't?
I know,
When
pheromones.
essentially they're the same, they're both around, like, the same, like, built, same age, same background, but yeah, there's just something there that is just, like, so I don't know, and it's infuriating because you can't quantify it, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah,
Uh,
and that's why online dating sucks because
yeah.
sometimes you connect online and then you meet them in person and you're like, "I feel nothing. There's nothing
Oh,
here." Which sucks,
dude.
it's bad. I feel bad.
And then, on that note, my final question for you tonight, is what is your go-to movie, snack, and drink?
Ooh, go-to movie. I love a frozen pizza. I
Ooh,
love a
yeah.
frozen pizza, and a nice, bottle of wine or something. But
Ah,
this is really very specific, but Aldi has I think it's called Mama Cece's Pizzas.
mhm.
They're amazing frozen pizzas, and they're really
Okay.
cheap, and what I
Yeah.
like to do also is, um, like, saute my own spinach and put spinach
Mhm.
on it and put some mushrooms and onions.
Ooh.
So
Mhm.
I, spice up my own frozen pizzas from Aldi, and then, yeah, I like a crisp white wine or something,
Mm. Yeah.
and then some dark chocolate to wash it all down. But, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I love a frozen pizza night.
Yeah.
Just by myself watching movies.
I
It's
love it.
maybe the greatest thing ever. Staying in by yourself with the
Oh,
pizza,
yeah. Oh,
pretty great.
I love a night in, especially for both of us as we're performers and we do all sorts of stuff and we're always out and about. Getting to stay in is such a luxury, you know?
Mhm. I know. It's one of my favorite things at age 44 to stay in.
Yeah.
Truly.
I at age 32 also feel that. Love a night in. So, it's true. It spans all generations, all ages, all of it. Like it's awesome.
Mhm.
Um, well, Marie, thank you so much. Where can people find you and what do you got going on?
Yes, well, I'm on Instagram at Marie Merica. A little unfortunate this year that that's my, Instagram
Yeah.
handle, but, Marie Verica. And then I host a daily news podcast called CityCast Nashville. We have a new episode every single day of the week. We do
Mhm.
take the weekends off, but it's all about local news here in Nashville. And we just won Best Podcast in Nashville, according to Nashville Scene Readers, which is such an honor and really special because we work so hard to get the news
Mhm.
out there every single day. So please follow CityCast Nashville. That's what we are across the board. And we have a membership program and we're launching like more events and things. And our biggest goal is just to really connect with our community and make sure that we all know that we are in it together and that
Mhm.
Nashville is a work of art.
Yeah.
I meant to say a work in progress, but also
Yeah.
a work of art.
It
But
is.
it's really
Yeah.
fun to, you know Nashville's a great city to live in, and
Yeah.
we're improving it every day.
I I agree. It's getting better every day, and we'll get there. Hopefully,
Hopefully.
God willing, we'll get there.
Yeah. Yep. But I love it.
Um,
In the meantime, I really do love my job, so check it out.
yeah. Yay. Well, Marie, thank you so much for doing the show. I really appreciate it. This was so much fun. Oh my god.
Oh, truly. Courtney, as you know, I'm just such a huge fan of yours, and I can't wait to see
Oh,
your special, and if
likewise.
anyone's listening who hasn't seen Courtney perform, you have to check her out. She's so
Oh,
talented and always such a great hang also,
well,
so you're very
dude.
special.
Dude, thank you. I think the same of you. Like
Aw, thank you.
before I let you go, and I want to share this on air that this one anecdote before my I know we're literally like, oh, we're gonna end the podcast, and then we keep going. But I realize this is my detriment when because I only talk to my friends on here, and I want to talk to you all the time. But for my special, I was telling another mutual friend of ours, MK Gannon, because she's about to release hers, and I was telling her, I'm like, MK, I don't know if I'll ever get married, but I feel like doing my recording at Third Man and getting ready. And I remember you coming back into the green room or into the bathroom mirror and be like, "Oh my god, you look so good!" Like in my outfit. That is seared in my mind as a core
Oh,
memory of like I may never get married, I may never have any of those things, but in that moment, I was like, that is like that feels like I don't
so
know,
much
like
better. It's gonna
yeah, it
be
was
it's so much better. That's what I
yeah,
I love these, like, moments in time where I mean, again, I've never been married. I've heard it's really wonderful, and your wedding day is the best day of your life, okay? I
right,
cannot speak
yeah,
to that truly. But when you have worked your butt off for so long and you finally get to film something like that,
hmm
it is the greatest day of your life, and
it is.
it's there's no other person to thank. I mean, there's,
Mhm.
obviously teams and stuff
Oh, for
of,
sure,
production teams and things that make it happen, but you did this on your own. This is your story, this is your experience, you're pulling from your own life, and there truly is nothing better than that,
yeah.
um, and so, yeah, in a way, it's better than getting married.
I agree. Also, it's like, yeah, I mean, my project can't divorce me or cheat on me at this point, So
Right,
there is that,
yeah,
I think Lady Gaga said something about that too, where her music career will never wake up and decide it doesn't love her anymore, because she'll always. So I'm just like, yeah,
right.
I agree.
Yep. Yeah.
But yeah, but anyway, Marie, again, thank you so much. And audience, thank you for listening. Check back in next week for another episode, and have a great day, guys. This has been Core Memory, a podcast about movies, and I'm your host, Cortney Warner. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. Please feel free to like and subscribe on anywhere that you get your podcasts. Would absolutely love the support on there. If you enjoyed today's episode and any of our other episodes, also we are on Instagram at Core Memory Pod. Please feel free to give us a follow on there as well if you want any behind the scenes tidbits or any kind of fun visuals on there. And again, thank you for listening, and we hope that you'll listen again soon.